Stop whatever you're doing for a second, because I just read something that genuinely gave me chills, and I'm pretty sure you're about to feel the same way. This Sunday night, at the Oscars, get ready for a moment that's going to break hearts everywhere. Not the gentle kind of tear-up either. I'm talking about the kind of crying where you have to cover your mouth because you just weren't ready for that much emotion. Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan are reuniting on the Oscars stage, together, for the first time in decades. And they're not there to plug a new movie or hand out an award. They're showing up to say goodbye to Rob Reiner. Just let that sink in for a second. If you were around in the late 80s or early 90s, when Harry Met Sally wasn't just a movie, it was a whole vibe. That film is the deli scene, come on, you know which one, the New Year's Eve speech, autumn leaves in Central Park, and that ending that made you believe, at least for a couple of hours, that love could really be like that. It's one of the all-time great romantic comedies, and Rob Reiner was the guy behind it all. And now, his two stars, Harry and Sally themselves, are walking back out, side by side, to honor him. Honestly, I can't even put into words how much that means. Here's what's happening. Sources say that during the In Memoriam segment this Sunday, Billy Crystal will speak about Rob, about the director, the friend, the man. Meg Ryan will be up there with him, and they'll be joined by other actors from Rob's films. It's a gathering of the people whose lives he touched, all coming together one last time to say his name out loud, for everyone to hear. If you've been following this, you already know. Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle were found dead in their Brentwood home last December. The LA County Medical Examiner said they died from multiple sharp force injuries. Their son Nick, who'd been living in the guest house, was arrested that night. He's facing 2 counts of murder, and if he's convicted, he could get the death penalty or life without parole. He pleaded not guilty in court back in February, and his next court date is April 29th. There's just no way to talk about it without saying it's almost too sad to believe. A legend and his wife gone in an instant. A family destroyed in a way no one should ever have to imagine. Their youngest daughter, Romy, just 27, was the one who found them. She lived right across the street. You can't really describe what that family's been carrying since then. But this Sunday, the film community is going to do what it does best. Show up, stand together, remember. Right after Rob and Michelle died, some of Hollywood's biggest names, Billy Crystal, Larry David, Martin Short, Albert Brooks, and more, released a joint statement. These weren't just colleagues, but friends. People who really knew Rob, and what they wrote just nails who he was. They talked about how Rob learned from his dad, Carl Reiner, a comedy legend, and from Norman Lear, who basically shaped TV as we know it. But Rob didn't just copy them. He built something all his own. They called him a master storyteller. They said no other director had his range: comedy, drama, mockumentary, documentary. He could do it all. People trusted him. Audiences loved him. They lined up for his movies, every single time. And honestly, they're right. Just imagine what it's like to have that kind of trust from your audience, to make movies like This Is Spinal Tap, Stand By Me, The Princess Bride, When Harry Met Sally, Misery, and A Few Good Men, not just hits, but the kind of films people carry with them for life. People follow you from one story to the next because they just know deep down whatever you're making is going to matter to them. That's rare. That's a gift almost nobody gets. The statement ended with a quote from It's a Wonderful Life, one of Rob's favorites. And really, try not to get choked up reading this. They wrote, "Each man's life touches so many other lives, and when he isn't around, he leaves an awful hole, doesn't he?" Then they added just 3 words of their own. You have no idea. You have no idea. Those 4 words, coming from the people who knew him best, who loved him most, who are living with that loss every day, they say it all. Now, there's something else coming up at this Sunday ceremony, and it only makes everything feel even weightier. Barbra Streisand might sing during the In Memoriam segment as a tribute to her The Way We Were co-star Robert Redford, who also passed away recently. So we could be looking at an In Memoriam like nothing the Oscars has ever done. Barbra Streisand on stage, Billy Crystal speaking, Meg Ryan there, a whole room full of Hollywood legends gathering to say goodbye to the people who shaped their world. And Conan O'Brien will host it all. He was one of Rob Reiner's closest friends in those last years. He said goodbye to Rob and Michelle at his Christmas party the night before they died. He's talked about how lost he felt after. Now, he'll stand on that stage Sunday night, carrying his own heartbreak, and help the rest of us grieve too. I can't stop picturing that moment. Billy Crystal, Harry, Meg Ryan, Sally, together, again, after all this time, standing on one of the world's biggest stages, because the man who brought them together, who believed in their story, who made that movie and gave us all those unforgettable feelings, is gone. There's something so moving about it. Rob Reiner spent his whole career telling stories about love and friendship, what it means to really know someone and choose them anyway. And now, his story ends with the people who loved him most, gathering together just like the characters in his movies always did. That's what you do when you lose someone who can't be replaced. You show up, you stand together, you say their name. When Harry Met Sally came out in 1989, for so many of us, especially if you were a young woman back then, it wasn't just a movie, it was a conversation about love, timing, friendship, and whether men and women could ever really be friends, about what real, messy, complicated, worth it love looks like. It made us laugh, it made us believe, and it gave us that deli scene we're still quoting 37 years later. At dinner tables, in group chats, honestly, probably even in our dreams. Rob Reiner did that. He read a script, pulled his cast together, set up his camera, and made something that became woven into our lives. This Sunday, the lights will go down at the Dolby Theatre. Conan O'Brien will take the stage, holding a weight most of us can't imagine. Billy Crystal will walk out. Meg Ryan will stand there. And for a few minutes, the whole world will pause. Phones down, snacks forgotten, everyone just feeling it. The loss of a man who gave us so much. The loss of his wife, who stood right beside him. The love of friends who won't let either of them be forgotten. Go ahead and get your tissues ready. You're going to need them.